Hey guys, it's Sean the Joy Guy. I'm here with a special message to my teenage friends, and it also applies to adults. But especially, I want to address some things that are happening in our nation, and in our communities. There are places where bullying has gone to a whole new level. Not just cyberbullying, but actual violence. There are places where it doesn't feel safe, and it's led to a lot of fear, a lot of hopelessness, a lot of anger. And I want to address what we can do about that and how to find hope again. And here's the concept. When you hit your teenage years, something about our environment changes dramatically. Before, we were influenced mostly by our parents and some by our friends. But suddenly, as teenagers, we are cast into this whole new world where everybody wants to give us messages. Everybody wants a piece of who we are and of the influence and power that we have, right? And so, for example, I think about this for a moment. In an effort to try and fit in, we try to do the things that are popular. You have platforms like TikTok, where they literally tell you the only way you can be popular is to do the exact challenge that they give you, whether it be a dance or whether it be, some kind of fitness thing. That is the way to be cool, is to do exactly what they tell you to do. Think about that for a moment. Think about political parties who tell you that the other people are going to destroy the country, right? They tell you to hate others. Think about groups who deliberately create division on whatever political side they are on. Think about the TV ads that tell you can't be happy until you have the latest video game or until you buy the stylish purse, not the cheap one at Walmart, but the one that is valued at hundreds of dollars. They are literally, all of these people have one thing in common. They are telling you how you should feel. They are literally trying to have power over you. And you think about people who are using violence and terror to create fear. They are also trying to gain power, and they are trying to make you feel something. A sense of worthlessness, a sense of hopelessness, because when they do, they have power over you. And guess what? Here's the difficult thing. If they make you feel angry, they're happy because they have power over you. So what do we do about this? What do we do? Well, I felt many of these same feelings once upon a time. I had a situation that was one of the most difficult that most people will face. And I'm not saying that there aren't people who have had more difficult things. Sure, they have. But I was in a situation that was so difficult. I found myself thousands of miles away from home, driving way too fast down a curvy road. My tires were barely holding onto the road. And I was just so filled with despair, with hopelessness. I felt so unwanted, unloved. I felt so low. And I didn't know what to do about it. And I cried out for help. I talked to my dad, called him up. It was like 3 a.m. his time. And he answered. And I found something a couple days later that changed everything. Everything. And it was a realization that I had let other people determine my emotion. I had let other people determine whether or not I could be happy. I was letting others have power over me that they did not deserve to have. And I realized I had literally, my definition of happiness had been if the people around me were happy, and the people around me were not happy. And I said, you know what? I'm going to change something. I'm going to make a new definition of happiness and joy for myself. And the definition was this: I can be happy no matter my circumstances because I choose my emotions. And I choose every single day to live a joyful and happy life, no matter my external circumstances. And you know what? From that moment on, things changed. I literally found myself just a couple weeks later, a couple miles away on a different road. This time, I had the windows down, I had my tunes cranked to the top, and I was singing at the top of my lungs, filled to the brim, like overflowing with so much joy and happiness. And my circumstances had not changed at all. If anything, they had gotten worse. But I had changed because I had seized my joy. I had made a choice. And I took that agency or that ability to act, and I took it back. And with it, I took back my joy. I took back my life. And my life has been awesome since then. And no, not everything has been perfect. I've still had some really hard times in a lot of different ways. But those things became moments in life and not life itself. My underlying emotion is one of joy and happiness. And the other cool thing that happened about that was I started bringing hope to other people. Other people just saw my attitude and they could just see, even strangers. And I would start having conversations with these people, and they would tell me all their problems and the things that they were struggling with. And I just knew what things I could teach them. I became not just a happier person, but the people around me became happier. And that can be you too. You can become an influence for good for others. You can teach them how to seize their joy, but it all begins with you. It all begins at this moment when you decide that you're not going to let others hold you in terror. You're not going to let others tell you how you should feel, and that you can choose to seize your joy. You can choose to live joyfully every single day, no matter what other people tell you. And this will set you apart as a leader for yourself, a leader for others. And it starts with making that decision, and that doesn't mean things will be easy. The moment you make that decision, you start on the path to forgiveness for people who have done awful things to you. Because the longer you sit with that anger, the longer they have control over you, and the longer you are miserable. So it isn't even about them, it's about you and getting back your happiness. You can turn anger into forgiveness for yourself and for those around you. You can take hopelessness and change it to light and joy. And you can become the person you were meant to be, because every single one of us has a special gift that is unique to us. But also, because it's unique to us, it's scary to share sometimes. But it's that gift that really celebrates who we truly are. Is that gift that when we share it with others, it takes your life to a whole new level of happiness. So let's start by choosing your joy. Start by saying, I get to determine my happiness, and I choose to live joyfully every single day, no matter my circumstances. Tell yourself that every single day. I promise you, you're going to see amazing things happen once you do this. You will no longer live in fear. You will no longer live with that hate. And you will start seeing life through a whole different lens. And when you do, the whole world is going to open up. I promise you awesomeness. This joy is just around the corner. So take the step, seize your joy, and choose to live joyfully every single day. So until next time, Sean the Joy Guy telling you to live joyfully.